One of my favorite RC models in the Losi lineup is the Baja Rey. It's a 1/10 scale, 4-wheel drive, off-road, electric, ready-to-run desert truck, and it's such a blast to drive. It looks so cool when you're wheeling it, and I actually did a project on one a little while back that still gets a ton of views. People really love this truck, and now I think they're gonna love it even more now that they have a 2.0 version. The 2.0 just isn't a body change. They improved a number of areas on the truck, and that's what we're gonna go over today in our quick review. They have two different body options for the new truck, this Eisenhower Ford F100 and a Method Ford Raptor. In this video, I'm just gonna focus on the Eisenhower truck. If you wanna see a more in-depth video, I'll have a link to our main channel where I go over it in a lot of detail. All right, let's run through the changes. First up is the Eisenhower Ford F100 body. This is a licensed body. It's got the heat wave graphic. I love the matte black finish. It looks really cool up close, guys. They've got a semi-chrome molded front grille, working LED lights. The light bar is just outstanding. 7 pods here with LED lights in it and clear Lexan lenses. And then in the rear of this truck, you see a lot more scale detail. We've got dual tires out back now. These are functioning rear tires. There are fire extinguishers, the radiator with the fans, full interior with detailed figures, and then the rubber front valance looks awesome as well. There is a new mini bumper on here for protection. Now, the wheels on this are the Method 101s, and they're wrapped in licensed BF Goodrich KR3 tires. These are firmer shore than the previous version. Once you take the body panels off, you're gonna notice a new cage on this truck. This cage allows you to separate it into 2 pieces. You can pull the front off, so working on the truck is a whole lot easier, while you can still leave the rear section on. The center section of the chassis is pretty much the same, but there's a lot of changes to the suspension. There's now 8 shocks on this truck in total, and the suspension feels really plush. To accommodate the new shock setup, there is a new shock tower, new suspension arms. The other change to the rear suspension is they have new upper links. These have much more plastic around the ball stud, so hopefully that won't elongate when you're out driving. All right, let me switch to that front bulkhead. Change up there is it's been revised so you can access that front differential a lot easier now. It's a bit more reinforced, so it should be a lot more durable. Right behind it, they've revised the servo saver assembly, more durable and better performance. The center transmission portion is pretty much the same. Center differential inside, slider drive shaft out to the rear axle, and they've made some really big changes here that I think a lot of people are going to like. So the front cover of the axle has new larger bearings in it to support that bevel pinion. There's a 5x11 bearing and a 5x13 bearing. And then right behind it is a new sealed differential. Well, not exactly new, it's just like the front differential, but it's sealed with standard outdrives rather than the solid axle that went in that leaked on previous versions. So not only is this tunable, but you're not gonna have any leaking issues on this truck. Finally, let me just run through the ready-to-run equipment that it does come with. It's all Spectrum gear. You get a DX3 radio system, you get the S614S servo, 130 amp Spectrum Firma brushless ESC, you get an ABC receiver, and a 3800 kV motor that is now wrapped in a massive orange anodized aluminum heatsink to help dissipate heat. What an awesome looking truck. I love the previous versions, and I can't wait to drive this one. I'll have links in the video description below for it. Please use those if you're an online shopper. It helps us out without costing you any extra. Now, let's go see this thing run. You have to admit this truck looks really good just blasting through the dirt. I took it up to RC Madness to their basher lot, just got a feel for the truck there, and it is quick on 3S. That's what you guys saw in the action video. I actually drove it on 2S as well, and I think I like driving it on 2S better. It's just a bit more manageable, a little less edgy, but still quick. So something I need to tell you guys is the suspension setup on this is for going through rough bumps and stuff. It's not set up really for jumping. Losi is going to have optional springs for that, and so those big jumps that you guys saw where it was landing hard and then carrying basically a wheelie, which was cool in itself, that's going to have to be taken care of by tuning on your part. So like I said, this handled really well through the bumps, and that's kind of what they were trying to get at with this 8-shock setup, is just getting it to handle better through the rough stuff, and it looks really good driving through the rough stuff. Just got to watch yourself in the corners still. It will catch an edge if the surface is loamy. And the other thing I noticed is the rear is a little bit loose, and I think it's because of the harder shore tire, but it's a really fun truck. It was before in the previous version, still is. It just looks a lot cooler in my opinion. Now, are there any negatives? One thing I found with this truck is the front body bounces up and down a lot, and you could hear it chatter, just a little bit annoying there. There's a lot of slop in the steering. This is a little unacceptable, the amount of slop that's in here, and just diagnosing it, it looks like it's all in the servo. And you know, I'll probably get rid of that servo at some point, but that is a lot of slop in the steering to have in a fairly new truck. I mean, I got a bunch of packs through it, but that's a lot of slop. The other thing is maintenance. When you go and take this truck apart, there's a lot of different screw lengths for the body and spacer lengths that space out the body from the roll cage. And that's just a little bit of extra work keeping track of all that stuff. That's the only real negatives I have for it right now. I've got nothing else to complain about, but it is a cool release from Losi. If you want to see more on this, again, check out our full review on our main channel, and I'll have links for this in the video description below.